CVTs would be at the 8:30 mark. So 2 minutes 30 seconds after cybercore completes. Of course, he'll need warp gate as well, but I mean, 160 seconds obviously. If you just chrono boost it once, it'd be fine. Alright, that's perfect. I don't know about the fastest you could chrono boost a cybercore though, but I'm not entirely sure how the chrono boost mechanic works. It says all structures will operate 50% faster for 20 seconds. So what does that mean? That basically means you get 10 seconds off for every 20 seconds of chrono boost. Okay, so if you constantly chrono boosted something like warp gate, chrono boost lasts for 20 seconds, so that's 8 chrono boosts. That'd be 8 times 10, which is 80 seconds off of the research time, so you'd get warp gate in about 80 seconds. If I'm calculating this correctly. Right? So that would be like 7 minutes 20 seconds. And then 10 seconds for the warp gate transformation time. Can the chat confirm if that makes sense or if I'm actually just kind of retarded? Not really sure. Say warp gate equals minute and 30 seconds, right? Because it's 80 seconds and then 10 seconds for the, yeah, so a minute 30 seconds. A minute 30 seconds after start. You can't chrono boost it 8 times. I beg to differ. I would click chrono boost 8 times. Like, what's the big deal here? Am I reading this correctly? Chrono boost 50% faster for 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it correctly. Energy on Nexus. Yeah, but I mean, like, what if you just didn't spend your chrono boosts on probes, you know? Like, and there are warp gate timings that the zealots hit at like before the 8-minute mark, so I'm absolutely positive about that. Ah, you wouldn't need 8 chrono boosts. Okay. "30 seconds and 20. Right. Okay, so you know what? If you guys can come up with a consensus of when this warp gate will finish based on all chrono boosts, then go ahead and post it in the chat and let me know. Don't really want to deal with it right now because it's just a calculation kind of thing. It's not really, you know, like you guys can figure it out on your own. That's basically what I'm saying. He scouts that 4th gas. Like before he went for the fast layer, he does here. It looks like he just timed his, yeah, he just gets the 2nd gas when he goes to the layer. Yeah. So that's pretty straightforward. We'll go ZVP. 2nd gas equals when he goes to layer. That's kind of what he did before. If we go to Antigua here, I'm sure he did it. 15 gas. Gas number 2. Yeah, okay. Evo. Gas layer. Gas Protoss. It looks like Did he layer based off when this Protoss got this gas? No, it looks like just an 8-minute. Yeah, that was not based off anything. So maybe it was when his third base completed, I think. No. Queen starts. Huh. I would say it's when his third base completes. Maybe it was a saturation thing. Yeah, who knows? I'm gonna go ahead and just make the timing when his third base completes. That makes the most sense to me. Layer when your third base completes. Doesn't seem to be based off of gas timing either, or a link speed timing. Yeah, so I think it's when a third base completes, because obviously when the third base completes you're committed to it, so you need something to defend it. Layer tech to get the eventual Hydras after you fend off the initial amount of Void Rays with your Queens and Spores. Queens and Spores. Sends in the Overlord here. This will be a good timing to know. Saladin, a bit lazy with his units. Ah, wow, that's cheeky. He sends it in as the guy's harassing him with air units, so that, like, obviously his attention is going to be focused over here, and he won't even notice the Overlord sneaking in, because he doesn't get an attack command from that. There's no, like, my forces are under attack. It's just, like, a blob moving in. And because it's, yeah, that's, I mean, that's so smart. I'm actually going to rewind it, and I bet he sends this in immediately when, like, he scouts those air units, or, like, he knows that his attention's divided, basically. Nope. Nope. Never mind. Maybe it's just the 8-minute mark in general. That could be it. So we have the Overlord chilling here. Chilling. Okay, I think it's just because he knows a Void Ray can come out at 8 minutes, so either way, this Overlord is dead. So he might as well get what little scouting information he can. In this case, it turned out to be really, really good because the guy didn't notice, but that won't happen very often. Scout with your Overlord at 8 minutes. I think he did this because he was pretty confident that his opponent was... Well, yeah, he couldn't even wait for an Overseer because, you know, Overseer takes, what, 17 seconds to morph, and then he's got another 60 seconds on this layer, or 64 seconds, so that'd be way too late for scouting information. So yeah, that looks good. Looks good. So it looks like as soon as this first Spore completed, he just went ahead and built another one. This makes a lot of sense because obviously air units come out like 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 depending on how many Stargates you have, but essentially it's 1 Stargate per, or 1 unit per Stargate, and obviously they take time to build, so you don't need like all your Spore crawlers right now. You don't need to put like, oh, let's get 3 panic spores immediately. You know, you can just get 1, and then when that completes, you know, because it takes 30 seconds to build this, and then when it completes, just build another one, because that's pretty much how long it'll take to build the air units themselves. So that's very smart. We'll go ahead and put this in general ZBP against Stargate openers. FFE. Placing spores. Just put 1 at a time. Just always have 1 in construction. I really like this because I actually was talking about this in my like original Ice Fisher. It was a pretty big concept where you just add spines periodically. Not based on scouting information at all, but just based on potential warp-ins, and because you're being so greedy, you can get away with that. But that's something else. entirely. He should have watchtower control this whole time. It's interesting that he's producing Lings. I do like this. Generally, when Protoss opponents, you know, push out with their Void Rays or their air units, they'll have lots of Zealot support underneath, or Stalkers. Very little sentries because all the gas is being dumped here. So by having, you know, even minimal ground control, it's still very good. Because it's not like he's going to have a big ground force. But I'm going to go ahead and rewind it and see when he started producing these, and then see if I can kind of mimic that. Production tab, the Lings are empty. I want to see these initial 4 Lings. He probably made these to finish at about the 8-minute mark. I'm actually pretty confident about that. Or maybe these were the initial Lings that he had on the map. Yeah, it looks like these were the... Yeah. He had to build a lot extra at the start to clear the pylon and the probe, and then at the same time he built these in response to this Zealot. Generally Protoss push out with 2 Zealots, so it makes sense to have, you know, a high Ling count. That's fine. Just heavy drones, heavy drones, heavy drones. This evolution chamber, it's a bit early. I would even go so far as to say that if you can scout your opponent's cybercore timing, then just deduce the fastest DTs or Stargates that he can possibly have. And then unless you're planning on going for a really fast +1 or something like that, which Violet isn't in this case, we can see that because he's not researching anything unless he forgot, which I kind of doubt, then you can just delay this evolution chamber. So it takes, what, 30 seconds, 35 seconds to build an evolution chamber, so just 35 seconds before you need to start construction of your spore crawlers, or a minute and 5 seconds before you need your spore crawlers completed. How are we doing on time? We're at 16 minutes here, so we're just going to go ahead and stop for about 15 seconds and then show a commercial. Awesome. Absolute fastest warp gate is going to be finished. 120 seconds. That's perfect. 120. We'll put this in timings. Right. Warp gate equals 120 seconds. Or 2 minutes. 2 minutes after cybercore completes. You're asking how I'll remember this? How do you remember your own name? I don't know, it just makes sense. Just makes sense. Okay. 120 seconds. So this warp gate, or this cybercore finished at 6 minutes. 120 seconds later is 2 minutes, so that's about 8-minute mark. I know it can happen a bit sooner. Maybe they get the cybercore sooner. That's probably what happens, but 8-minute mark seems to be the standard. That's good. That's good. Violet's going for a Spire. That's interesting. He's also adding spore crawlers here. He's got 4 between the main and the natural and only 2 at his 3rd base. I don't know if I agree with this. I would say you need 3 at the 3rd base and then just 3 at the main, if that. Because you have the added benefit of the 2 queens at the main, so I mean naturally you need more defenses at your 3rd base. It just makes sense. You have less queens, so you have less anti-air. Who knows? Who knows?